Plug.
Hey, you guys, it's Christine, the BeautyPro coach, host of the BeautyPro podcast. And we're already all giggles because Mr. Paul Thompson of Elevation H is here. And we already had his brother, Cole, on the show. So now we get to see the other side of the mirror image. So, Mr. Paul, share with
Hello.
us. Hello.
Thank you for having me. I like that you started with the more mature, safer option of the twins with Cole first, and then the second one. I'm technically the middle child in our family, so I'm the naughty one. So you've warmed up, and now hopefully I won't be too naughty on your podcast.
Now
Fingers
the
crossed.
party can get started, right?
Exactly. I was trying to put it like politically correct, but yeah, the party can start now.
This is a real and raw podcast, so politically correct does not fly here.
I knew I felt right at home, and I do. I've only been on 2 minutes, and I'm feeling really, really comfortable. So can't wait.
I love it. All right, so right now you are in England, right? It is 2:00.
It is Manchester, England. The sun is shining for once, so I'm feeling good.
It's a good day. Fabulous.
It's a great day.
Okay, so really quickly, because I mean it's so obvious. Like, tell us about all of those awards, right? Behind you. Everybody needs to know.
Yeah, I've been pretty busy, to be honest. I've got a very supportive wife. She just kind of lets me do whatever I want, which is great.
Okay.
I think when we met years ago, I always said, don't worry, baby. This time next year, we're taking over the world. We're going to be millionaires. So she just sticks by me and supports me. I've had a very, very busy, probably last 5 years, probably since COVID. This year I'm going to be the judge of the best, in the top 100 hair salons in the UK. I'm going to be judging that for the HBA. So I'm very looking forward to that. It's going to be great because I'm a salon owner. I still work behind the chair a couple of days a week. So something like that's close to my heart. And I'm very fortunate to be able to go in and educate in salons with stylists and younger ones and future professionals. So to be able to take an insight of what people do and what I suppose in every salon owner has a dream of how that salon should be ran, and aesthetically as well as maybe culturally. So to be able to have a little insight of how people are doing it across the country and then have the honor of judging and picking the best is amazing.
Okay, so I love it. So is that what those awards are behind you?
Oh, sorry, not these. I thought you meant the one. Oh, so sorry. Oh,
but this is great. Listen, everybody, this guy. Whoa.
These right. This is our training program. Myself and Cole Thompson, the Elevation H training program. This is what we built specifically for salons, stylists, all that kind of stuff. I know Cole touched on it. Awards in general, they're just my this is just my wall of fame of what we've created. To be honest, I'll just put it there.
Okay.
So yeah, this is kind of that's our brain on a canvas.
I love it.
You should check it out.
So not only are you an award-winning stylist, artist, but then you have this amazing company that can help anybody really get to that same level of awardship, I guess, by following your systems, Elevation H.
Yes, I think we created it. Cole and I have slightly different professional stories or past. Cole went down the Vidal Sassoon route.
Yeah.
And when he started that, I took it upon myself to open my own salon in the UK. And I always was more interested in like the business side of things and maybe again like building something like a culture and a family in a workplace. So when Cole went to the States with Sassoons, I was growing my own business. And at the time when he left Sassoons, he was feeling like he was at the top of his game in the education department. And I felt like I was at the top of the game in the salon space, like employing and growing teams. So together we created Elevation H that can support the student. So technically like savvy and support. And then also we can support the business owner. So any issues I'd had previously for that 10 years or so, building the business, we kind of put that in the program that, right, let's take the worry away from the salon owner. And let's, I suppose, get everybody technically savvy, profitable behind the chair, and work really closely to salon owners. And it's been so far so good. We're having an absolute blast doing it.
That is so cool. I love how you both are in the industry, but very different paths.
Yes.
But they're both so necessary, especially in business ownership.
Yeah, and like we were very fortunate to have like the Sassoon connection with Cole, which certainly did open doors for him. But myself, I'm completely independent. I've never been like tied to a brand or had like structural training like the Sassoon. So I've had to do a lot of it myself. So everything I've learned, everything that I teach now is things that I've been doing myself over and over again. So any issues, any complaints, any worries, imposter syndrome, all these things that everybody suffers from on a daily basis, I still live it and have lived it for the past 26 years behind the chair. So I feel very fortunate now that people do open the door to me and welcome into the salons, and that I can just share my experience from that side of it, and maybe being the underdog a little bit more. I've not had that, like, I'm from Sassoons or I'm from Tony and Guy, which is amazing.
Right.
But I've certainly had to kind of like fight my way through it a little bit in terms of like, also I've got a voice. I want to be heard as well. So it's been fantastic, the journey. And Cole's been my best friend and probably best mentor anyone could ever ask for. He's always at the end of the phone for any kind of advice. So it's been great. Yeah. So that's kind of my story more than anything.
That's really cool. Okay. So you mentioned imposter syndrome.
Yes.
So I have to ask, like, because you are a twin and your brother has worked with Sassoon and Tony and all that stuff.
Yes.
Was there a little bit of imposter syndrome? Like, man.
Well, it's certainly like the big events, certainly, because as soon as you mention those kind of names and that training, there's nothing better in the world than like a Sassoon training.
Yeah.
So it certainly does open doors. So I was like, right, I'm going to have to be really good now. You know, if I want to try and even put myself in those rooms, I've got to be. I can't blag it. I can't make this up. I've got to be there.
Yeah.
So if anything, it made me work a little bit harder. And again, I think I'm always up for a challenge. So if anyone says you can't do that or you've not done this, I'm like, well, I can. Just bring it on. Like, let's just do it. You know, I love setting myself targets and goals and just I suppose trying to just keep myself going and onto the next thing and onto the next thing.
Have you ever wanted, and maybe you talked about this with Cole, but maybe have you guys ever wanted just to like switch for like a week?
You know, like
you can teach Hanzo and nobody would ever know.
Well, we have had a few weekends where we've done like a double your money kind of. He does a haircut, I do a haircut.
Okay.
And that goes down very well. We've also had like situations where like I didn't know which twin it was, but I'm happy either way. You know, like I'm not, but whoever, just at least one of you turn up, and we get asked all the time, who's the better hairstylist? You know, like that. We get asked that all the time.
Well, who do you think it is?
Well, it's an easy answer for me. And the reason why I think it's easy is Cole is a phenomenal hairstylist and hair cutter. He is phenomenal. But I always say that Cole will give you Cole's version of it. And because I still work behind the chair, I have to please people hoping that they will come back to me and give me the business and stay with me for the next 20 years. Yeah. So I give the customer what they want and Cole gives the customer what he wants. So I would say as a stylist, I would say I'm better because I like to please the customer, I would say.
More practical.
Unbelievable. Exactly, for sure. Like when he was training for Sassoons, you know, like we'd both need models. So my grandma would have like a haircut every week. And she'd come into me and I'd give her like a nice soft, like, you know, haircut, like pixie kind of finish. Then she'd go to Sassoons and she'd have like a fringe up here. And like, I'm like, it's technically the best haircut I've ever seen, but poor grandma doesn't want to be walking to the bus with a square fringe like that. So yeah, I think I give the people what they want more than Cole does, to be honest.
So funny. So I guess it would be safe to say that it is good that there is a Thompson on each sphere, right?
Yeah.
Doing their thing. Okay.
Yes.
That's cool. That's cool.
But he's the best though, he is. He's the best.
I love it. You guys are so sweet to each other. Like genuinely.
Thank you.
Okay. So let's get to the nitty gritty, right? So you're a salon owner.
Yes.
And how big is your team?
We've been like up and down in terms of growing the team. We've been in existence for 16 years. The most we've ever had is 16 members of staff. Nice. Over here, we do like the apprenticeship program. So they come straight from school at 16 years old and then kind of like, you know, earn and learn at the same time. Now there's 9 of us and it's a real sweet spot because I do travel a lot and I can only be in the salon a couple of days a week.
Yeah.
I've got a great team. The guys who kind of run it for me when I'm not here are great. And there's not too many personalities. It's just the sweet spot. Now we found it where, hopefully, touch wood, nobody's going anywhere. We're not have a revolving door of staff. Everyone's been here a long time, and it's just kind of the I suppose, the perfect temperature of porridge. It's just, that's what our salons are like right now. It's, it's not too big, it's not too small, it's just perfect. So I don't want to rock the boat. If there, any of them listen to this podcast, I'm very fortunate to have an amazing team that I'm very proud of, and it allows me then to go and chase other dreams like the education and the travel and that other side of it. So yeah, my team's great and I love it. We're just outside Manchester, England. I grew up in the town that the salon's in is where I grew up, so I still do like school teachers, friends from school, all that. So it's like a real kind of family feel to it.
Yes.
It's
Oh my
good.
goodness, I love that. You
It's
are
nice.
a legend in your town then.
Well, it depends who you ask, but yeah, if you ask my mum, then definitely, yeah, for sure.
So when stylists come, when apprentices come, what is it that is a red flag? Like you're absolutely like, absolutely not. And then what's the green light that you're like, yes, please get in here yesterday?
Wow, that is an amazing question. Actually, I really like that because I suppose what you want is somebody who technically can do a really good job or a really, really good haircut, of course. And through my doors and through many salon owners' doors, you would have had these amazing haircutters or colorists. But the most important thing for me, more than anything, because you can kind of advance technical ability, it's the personality and their attitude to work and the willingness to be part of a team. And like all my staff, I know all the children, I know the partners, I know the grandma, I know the uncles, aunties. We're just a family, so they've got to fit into the culture and the feel of the place, and they just got to be willing to work as a team, be excited to come to work, and also give the customer an amazing experience. I've worked with stylists that they're so obsessed with giving the technically perfect haircut, they forget to give the customer the experience and have fun with them. You got to remember the dog's name, what restaurants they like to go to, where they've been on holiday, if you like 2 sugars or no sugar. Those are the things that keep people coming back rather than just the technically absolutely perfect haircut. So if you can get both, then you're onto a winner. So it's about attitude and being part of the team without a doubt.
I love that. I find as a salon owner as well, it is that willingness, right? That openness to just be critiqued, to learn.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like don't you find that the more open that they are for that, the better it goes, like the whole working relationship, everything?
Yeah. I think like someone said this to me years and years ago, is like, leave your ego at the door. I
Yeah.
think if like I've been doing her 26 years and I still would watch somebody who's been doing it 2 years, 3 years and learn something from it. It doesn't matter what level of experience or where
Right.
you've been in your industry. Everybody has either an experience to share, something that they love to do, something that they specialize in. So yeah, leave your ego at the door and just learn. I'm very, again, fortunate. I've worked in salons where they might have 10 stylists and one was amazing at curly haircutting. So I just take everything out of them like a sponge. And then
Yeah.
a blonding specialist, I'm gonna soak everything from them, and then just you become a little bit more well rounded. And with teaching a lot, I would find that the more experienced stylists are possibly more open to learning because maybe they've got to that point where they're like, do you know what? I'm amazing at this, but I've not done that side of the work for a long time. I'm a bit
Mm.
nervous of that. Like for example, wolf cuts and jellyfishes and all these crazy animals now. The experienced stylists are like, well, I used to do that, but it was called this or was called
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
I feel that the more experienced the stylists are, they seem to be more on board and open to learning than maybe the younger ones who are a bit nervous of maybe being critiqued.
Mm-hmm.
They sometimes put the guards up, so you've got to work a little bit more differently with them. But I love having the opportunity to work with stylists. I think it's just the best thing in the world because I go into salons and I'm learning from them. I'm like, oh, I love how what you've
Yeah.
done with the backwash area, or I love how you greet customers. So
Yeah.
I'm also learning as well and get to meet loads of amazing stylists as well.
See, that's really important. That even though you are a business owner, you are a leader, it's important not only for your staff to know, but everybody watching and listening to this episode is that you are learning too. Like you're a master and a student at the same time. And I feel a lot of the people who look up to us, they kind of forget that,
Yeah.
that we ourselves have to go get educated on how to communicate with that problem stylist or figure out
Yes.
how to do something else, so that's really cool that you said that. That was good.
Well, and I think I'm not a superhero. Like I
Right.
work on stage and I work behind the chair, and there's always still customers that come in that I get a little bit nervous of like, I hope they like it, and that shows that you care, but also it shows that I'm still open and vulnerable to making mistakes and being open to learning, and that's not a bad thing. I certainly don't beat yourself up with things that you feel like you could have done better. That shows that you care and that you're willing to get better. So anybody listening to this, at whatever level, if you're thinking, I might never get to that level where I can travel the world teaching, like I still worry about things and care about things. So don't beat yourself up if you feel like that. It's only natural.
Yeah. Okay, so here in the United States, I feel like it's the same for you in England, but correct me if I'm wrong. So there's been like an industry shift, right? Where a lot of people want to go out and be independent stylists. They want to do their own thing. Is that happening in where you are too?
Huge, yes. And I
Okay.
work a lot with like academies and colleges over here. And it used to be, if you're familiar, like the apprenticeship program where the student will go to college once in the week, and the rest of the other 4 days they'd work in the salon and learn, like, I suppose, earn and learn, and you're behind the chair a little bit. Just recently, a lot of the colleges I've been going into aren't doing that anymore. They're only doing full-time learning in college because so many people are going self-employed. They don't want to take on an apprenticeship and pay them out of their own money. So there's a massive transition and switch now of these new people into the industry either have to learn it independently and then go straight into employment rather than having the support of an apprenticeship. And all the stylists are going self-employed straight away, which makes more money for them individually, but as a team and for the future of the industry, you cannot beat working in a salon where you have like a salon owner, experienced stylists, ones who are kind of wanting to get to that point, and then the new ones. And it's like a cog that works so perfectly. Yeah. And then a year later, the apprenticeship qualifies and she moves up or he moves up, and then somebody else comes in. And it's that real cog of just consistency that makes the business tick over, and customers are always well looked after, and you have different price brackets, all these things. Where self-employed, you just don't have that. It's just a case that I'm here, I've got my clients, I'm not bothered about the future of the industry, I'm just making my money. It has a place, but for me, there's no better than salon. The salon life is just the best.
I would agree, right? But everybody, they all have their own version of success, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you got to welcome it all, right? Like, okay, everybody's
no
welcome. Everybody has their place.
Yes. So anybody who listens who is self-employed, I take my hat off to you, because what you've done is you've been savvy enough to grow your own business, and you've got clients that would follow you to the end of the earth for the next 50 years. So I again, hats off to that. I don't blame you at all, one little bit. I think because it's just the way it is, and with social media now, you can have your own business even within somebody's business. Your own profile Instagrams and whatever these kids do these days. Like they can grow their own business, can't they? So I don't blame them at all. You got to hustle. It's what we get out of bed for, is go make some money. But I do like that team ethic of, I'm running behind, please can somebody take my colour off? Or my highlights are bright yellow, what on earth am I going to do? Two brains are better than one. I do like that.
Yes, I agree. So what is your definition of success, and what is the secret to getting there?
Oof. The definition of success, I believe, is to be able to get out of bed and be excited about what you're going to do is an absolute success to me. Because certain things, if I'm like, right, if I get to here, I'll be happy, and then I get to here, and then that's it, no more for me. I think I've done everything I want to do, but then there's always something else, isn't there?
Yeah.
So in terms of it's not like you get to win the World Cup and lift the trophy and like, yes, we've achieved something. I think in a business sense, you're always progressing and growing and learning. So I feel like everyone's always going to be chasing something like that. So there isn't really an end goal for me. I just feel like if I can wake up, kiss my kids, and go to work happy, knowing that, right, rather than a big, I've got to go to work today, I want to come home. That's success to me, to be able to think I'm putting food on the table for my children. I can pay my mortgage, I can travel, and I'm happy getting out of bed doing it. That and health, that's success to me.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
Cheers.
So with that,
yes,
what has been your biggest failure, and what did you learn? It could be personal or professional, because what we do is so intertwined, but what has that been for you?
Oh, my biggest failure. That's a really good question, isn't it? Maybe I should have asked for a little prep on the questions.
Cole was a little stumped too. He was
No, well,
like,
I think that, and I suppose again, you've got to be completely open and honest to failures. I know Cole mentioned it. Don't beat yourself up from the failures, because you can learn from them, can't you? I
yeah.
think that a failure can be turned into success, because you're like, well, I won't do that again, but I'll definitely do that again. But in terms of failure, I would say during the COVID period a few years ago, we had to like split the salon up into two sites.
Yeah.
Because you had to have like social awareness. You had to like split everyone up a little bit more. So we spread over two sites. And in that time, we had an unbelievable team. There's about 16 or 17 of us. And because we split it up, it never really returned after COVID kind of calmed down. It never really returned to that, because the stylists I sent over to run that site kind of got the taste for, I can do this, you know, like I'm running my own business, which was great. And I let them fly, and they've got their own salon now. But I felt that during that period of time, again, we were all learning and thinking on our feet, how is my business going to survive? How can I keep customers safe and happy? We split them up to be safe, but I felt like maybe if that period of time didn't happen, we'd probably still be as big as we were then. Not that I regret it by any means, but again, you kind of live and learn, don't you? But possibly that, really, I was thinking on my feet. But whether it was a loss or whether it's a defeat, I don't know. But yeah, if I had a time machine, I would probably go back and think, right, how can we make it work over one site, keep everybody happy, really like keep rocking and rolling, then we'll probably still be there now.
Yeah.
And then also another one, I ran the London Marathon a few years ago. And you probably
guys
not be able to
are so cool, like both of you. I love it so much.
Well, it was great. It was one of the best experiences of my life. But this is how it went. One of my best friends rang me, and he said, "Hi, Paul. You like a challenge, don't you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I love a challenge." You know, like I thought he might, I don't know, won 100-meter race or something. I don't know. Anyway, he's like, "Do you fancy running the London Marathon?" I'm like, "Oh my God, yes, definitely sign me up." He said, "Fantastic. I'll send you an email of the details." No problem. Thought nothing of it. Got home, checked my emails. And he'd entered me because one of his friends got injured and he was doing it for a charity. So he automatically had a place. He entered me. It was 5 weeks from the day I'd phone call.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh, Jesus, I've got 5 weeks to go from running 5K every other day to 26.5 miles.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, I've said I'd do it now for charity. Let's do it. So maybe if that's one of my losses or regrets, is I should have probably taken that a little bit more serious. I did it and I completed it, but I practically crawled for the last few miles. So if I had the opportunity to do that again, I would maybe do a Rocky Balboa moment and do the training and, get a little bit, take it a bit more serious.
That is so cool, because the most I've ever done is a 10K, and I did it once, and I was training to do, I don't know if you've ever heard of those Spartan races.
All right. So I think I have, yes.
They're like trail running. I tried to do it, and I was so winded and so dehydrated. I think I ate a burger and a hot dog and like all the salt. I just, anyway, good for you.
Thank you. It's true, like after an event like pretzels, burgers, anything that's a little bit naughty, you're like, yes, please, I've earned it. I deserve a treat.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So Cole has been, I guess he's been working out too and all that. I do CrossFit. So whenever I see a fellow CrossFitter, a fellow working out guy, like I'm just like, yes. And anyway,
you've got to, I think that, again, like healthy body, healthy mind, isn't it?
Yes.
I think that whenever I've had waves of either not being into training, I feel like everything else takes it. Like, I suppose that comes as a loss as well. So if I'm getting up training, I then make these right decisions of going to bed at the right time, eating the right things, saying no to that extra cocktail and those kind of things. It just, everything has like, I suppose, a wave, and you've got to ride it, haven't you? And I'm in a very good place at the moment where I'm training a lot, I'm sleeping well. Yeah, I'm making the right decisions. So yeah, again, hats off to you. If you're training well, I think you're just in the right place when everything, like every box just gets ticked, doesn't it, for that point?
Yes. Well, especially for what we do, right? It's so people are draining. And regardless of position, like it happens.
Yes.
We love them, but if we're not mentally and emotionally ready, we're going to just crumble.
For sure. And I think when you walk in from, like, again, we work in like our appointments, don't we? So from your 9 o'clock to your 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., you've got to be on it over and over again. And you've got to give the person the same attention from start to finish. So if they're maybe going through something in their life, we're going through something in our life. But irrelevant to that, we may be going through something in our life, but it shouldn't affect their experience. So you've got to leave that at the front door, which can be very, very exhausting, can't it? Hence why we go to these hair shows and everyone just goes wild for a couple of nights. Because like, I'm on my vacation, let's party. Let's, you understand me, you understand me, let's have a cocktail.
Yes, exactly.
That's how it works.
I love it so much. So what do you want to be remembered for? We kind of already talked about a little bit of a legacy and legend, but
yeah, I would say I would love to, in a professional sense, I would love to be remembered for being approachable, helpful, no ego. I think would like anyone that I try and teach, because I'm no better than anybody else. We're on the exact same level, whether you're just beginning or whether you've been doing it 50 years. I would love them to remember me as like, what a lovely guy he was. Like I could ask him a question and he didn't laugh at my question. He didn't make me feel like inferior technically. Yeah. I just want somebody just to think, wow, he was lovely. I would introduce him to my mum. That would be the perfect. That's what I would love to be remembered for. Obviously, I'd like to be remembered to be good at my job and hopefully help people in the industry. But on the whole, as a person, professionally or independently, I would love them to just think, yeah, Paul, what a lovely guy.
Well, you are a lovely guy, and I am so blown away. And this is a compliments to your parents. Like, you both are the kindest people I have met this far in the industry.
Well, my work here is done. That's all I want, honestly, because like I've been to see so many haircutters that are just absolutely unbelievable, and I've left sometimes thinking there's just no way I'm going to be that good. So I am sometimes leave feeling less confident about what I'm going to do tomorrow behind the chair, where all I want is just to be able to help people. And then, for example, Paul, I took a class with you last week. You did this technique. How did you start it? What did you do? And they don't feel like, well, I can't do that. He's probably busy. I can't bring him. It doesn't matter to me. Everybody's equal. I'd never regret saying I'm available for anyone I've taught or worked with 24/7. It doesn't really matter. And whether they're my part of my team in the salon or whether I've taught them, does not matter. But again, like just that compliment of that we're nice guys, that's all that matters to me.
Good. Okay, so what's your favorite insult that you have ever gotten that you're just proud of?
Wow. Well, you've met Paul. We're not the tallest of guys, are we? Right. I've got a really good story about this, and this is I think if you squint a little bit, there's a compliment in there somewhere. But I was working in the salon not long ago, and we just had a stylist start with us. So she brought all her customers with her. And so I thought, I'm going to have to greet her customers and hi, I'm Paul. Nice to meet you. Welcome. The salon's called Thompson Style. So welcome to Thompson Style. So I met this lady, took her to her seat, made her a coffee. I'm like, if you need anything at all, just ask. And then my stylist went over to her and started to chat to her. And this lady went, that little boy was really nice, wasn't he? And she went, who? She's like, we don't have a young boy apprentice. She's like, him over there. She went, that's my boss. She thought I was like a 12-year-old shampooist. So I don't know how, but I thought, again, maybe I look young, I don't know. So there's a compliment in there somewhere. So normally if there's any insults or anything, it's normally about my height and stature more than anything else, I would say. I couldn't believe it. So now I stand on a box in the salon. When I'm cutting hair, I'll stand on a box.
I am not the little boy again.
Yeah, she's like, that little fella over there is lovely. What a sweetheart.
Did she came back and
she loves it. Yeah,
she's
she
like,
loves
oh
it.
hi.
Yeah, now she knows I'm the boss, so she's like, oh hi, how are you? But so yeah, again, absolutely, I'm not bothered. It doesn't bother me as long as they come in and have fun. Then I can take some licks. I don't mind.
Okay. So what is a when people are starting out, right? What do you kind of prep them for? Because I remember when my first hair show, my first experience in the salon, I was like, whoa. So how do you prep your newbies?
First, I tell them it's like the best industry on planet Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for it is, even if you just looked at my team, or if you go to a hair show, everybody is completely different in every different way. Might dress different, have tattoos, piercings, but everybody exists and belongs. That's just a fact in our industry. It doesn't really matter whether you wear a suit or whether you've got a pink mohawk. It doesn't really matter. So I always explain to them that you can be whoever you want, and you can have a relationship with your customers however you want to build that, and people are going to come to you because of that's your secret sauce. That's why people fall in love with you and sit in your chair. So under my roof or in this industry, you can just be whoever you want, and I'm going to support it. But I also try and explain to them that the key ingredient to this job is you've got to be able to communicate and understand what people want. Because you could spend 45 minutes giving the best haircut on planet Earth, but if it's not what they've asked for, it's not the best haircut on planet Earth. That's just the way it is. Even if there's no knuckle marks, no nothing. If Susie doesn't like it, she doesn't like it. So it's about communication and having the ability and the skill to speak to a 2-year-old, a 70-year-old, or anything in between. And that's the best skill that this industry's ever given me, is that I could sit in a room and speak to a child all the way up and make them feel comfortable, make them laugh, get information out of them in a positive way. For example, how do you like your hair? So yeah, I just try and prep them for that, to be open, willing to learn, have fun, and always listen to the customer. That's it.
Love it.
And the rest just, I think, falls into place.
What's one lesson that you have learned in your life from being in the industry that you wish the mailman would just understand? Or anybody not in the industry?
Definitely be adaptable.
Because
have you ever been to a restaurant and you really wanted like a breakfast, and it's 2 minutes past cut off at breakfast time?
Yes.
And they won't make you eggs, right?
Yes.
They're like, I'm sorry, sir. I'm really sorry you can't have a breakfast. It's 2 minutes past 11. I'm like, well, can you make a burger? Yes. Well, surely you can fry me an egg.
Yes.
What's the difference, right? So I'm like, that's the exact same in the salon. Of anybody who comes to you, yes, give them a great haircut, but you got to be adaptable. You got to make them feel, never rub them up the wrong way or say, well, we can't do that or we can't do that. And if you are going to have a reasonable answer for that. So I would say that be adaptable, because I've been in so many restaurants, I've been into hotels where it just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm the customer, I'm paying for a service. Of course you can do that. You're just telling me you can't because of one strict rule. So be adaptable for sure.
I love that. I love that advice. I do. I genuinely do. Because it's, especially with something like that, 2 minutes after, seriously, just make the egg, dude.
Make me egg. It just doesn't make any sense. And I've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
And it's like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Or like I once went in a restaurant and my son wanted a bacon on a sandwich, right? Just a bacon sandwich, pretty simple.
Yeah.
And so he said, oh, we don't do bacon sandwiches, sir. But what we can do, we can give you a side of bacon and some bread on a plate. I'm like, so you're going to ask my 6-year-old to make his own bacon sandwich? Surely you can just put the bacon on the sandwich and everyone's happy. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So stuff like that. Just this guy should have been adaptable. Nobody had the conversation of you've got to be adaptable to these customers. This
didn't happen. What is a myth, a common myth that you get all the time about what you do, whether it's salon ownership, hairstyling? What is that thing?
Well, I used to play soccer or football growing up, so a lot of my friends, are male, and in terms of team, and so one might be a builder, one might, I don't know, hands, he's got calluses and he's a real man because he's a builder, right? So when we go out for a beer or a coffee or some dinner, they're like, oh, well, you're just a hairdresser, you just kind of you just gossip all day. And that is the myth. I'm like, yes, we do gossip. I love a bit of gossip, but it's also very hard work. You've got to be on it all the time. So that's my common myth of well, you just socialize all day. And yes, we do, but it's still very exhausting. And it's a heavy job, because again, you go through, your customers become your best friends, don't they? You've got to be available from start to finish. So that is my myth in terms of my friendship group. They think I've got the best job in the world. I just talk to ladies all day, which again is fine by me. I don't mind at all. I love it. But they just think I'm gossiping all day, every day. And it's just not. It's hard work.
It is hard work. It is mentally and emotionally taxing. And then I loved that you just owned it. Absolutely. We do gossip all day. Actually, we do.
And we're very good at it.
We make it look like totally easy. Hello.
Yeah. Whatever you tell me in these four walls, it's a safe sanctuary. I am not telling anybody. I'm not telling anybody.
No.
But that's a key that they're relaxed and they love coming. So it's not a bad thing.
So this is like a similar question, but a little different. Like, what's that thing that nobody agrees with you about?
In terms of like the hairdressing world?
Anything. It could be that the sky is blue, but you say no, it's cerulean. You know, like what
does anybody not agree with me? Oh, good question. There's got to be something good with this. There's got to be. Oof, I would say this is one that me and my wife always have a disagreement on. And to be honest, she wins every time because she's my wife and she's the boss for sure. But we always fall into this trap, and she'll probably kill me for saying this, but we always fall into the trap of we've got 3 boys from 8 to 1 years old and a 6-year-old. So, we're pretty busy. Well, my wife's definitely pretty busy. So I work a lot, long hours, and travel a lot. So I get home, either with my suitcase and I'm exhausted, or I've done 25 haircuts in a day, and I'm like, I'm really tired. But then she'll be like, well, try looking after these 3 kids all day. I'm tired. So I would say that's the agree to disagree of like, we almost always battle who's worked the hardest or who qualifies to be the tiredest. I'm like, well, I've done 25 haircuts. Well, I've been chasing 3 kids all day, and I've got sit down one shoulder and macaroni and cheese on one shoulder. So in terms of, in my world, is that who's the tiredest between me and my wife without a doubt?
That is a really good point, because I have had that, like, this is a family run salon, right? And a lot of times our families who are not in the industry, they don't fully understand the dynamics, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And I have experienced that where it's almost like who's tiredest, what's the competition, who's worked harder. That's a difficult one, because how do we kind of relay the information? Like, how do we train our family, right?
Yes.
What we do. Like, I don't even know how to ask that,
It's a really good, it's a really good one. And during COVID period, my mum came in to help out because, she'd not seen anybody for months as well, because everyone were locked up. She's like, I'll come and help out in the salon. And she'll like be front of house for a couple of days. And after the first day, she was like, I can't believe how hard you all work.
I can't help you anymore.
Yeah, she's like, I kind of get it now. Like, it's just, you're there, and then Sally turns up and she's 5 minutes early, so she's just staring at you across the room, thinking that when's it's my turn soon. And then you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again. And not only that, they've all got to leave completely happy with what you've done in that small amount of time. Yeah. And then you do it again, and then you collapse, have a gin and tonic, go to bed, do it again, do it again, do it again, and so. Yeah, my mum was like, my God, like, you're not lying, are you? You are busy. It's like, I get it. So I think once they see that, not that it's the hardest job in the world, for sure, I love it. It's the best industry in the world. I absolutely love it and adore every minute of it. But for sure, we do. We wear our heart on the sleeve every day. We put ourselves out there. We just hope people like the work that we do and appreciate that we do. We work hard for it.
Mm-hmm. So what... time is escaping us. So what do you have going on in your world in the salon that people watching, listening can like come to Manchester and see? Like, how do they get involved with Paul?
Well, fantastic. That's the question I was hoping you'd ask.
Good.
My door is always open. I work behind the chair every Thursday and Friday without fail, unless I'm on maybe a family vacation or something. I'm always there those days. But what I've got going on, for hands-on UK and Europe, I do all like the education side of it, any like hands-on haircutting classes. So this coming weekend, we're going to be at HairCon Manchester, which is the second biggest hair show in the country. We're going to be there. We've got a booth, so we're going to be doing live demos. So I'm going to be there. So if anyone listening to this is going to HerCon, please reach out, come and say hi. If you want some bangs or whatever, I'll sort you out, no problem. And then from there, the plan is to kind of hopefully rock and roll through Europe with that. And then, still hitting salons every other week doing education. And then, working behind the chair. So pretty busy.
I love it. We're going to have all of your links in the show notes for anybody watching and listening. You can go check him out. And finally, okay, what is one question that I did not ask you that you wish I would have, and how would you have answered?
Right then. So the one that I wish you would have asked, I would say, well, I kind of touched on it, was a lot of people, whenever they meet Cole or myself, they almost just instantly think, well, you must have had the same journey. I think it's probably the one that we very rarely get asked, because they just see us at face value that we're at like the same in terms of we both work for Hanzo, we've got Elevation H together. So they always look at it as like, well, it must just be the same. So once you scratch under the surface, and I'm always excited to tell people that, because whichever area of the industry you decide to go down, we've kind of got you in salon world or education and platform work and artist work. So it was that, if anything, you could have maybe just said, like, are you and Cole as in sync as you look? And maybe that, so I could have delved a little bit more into, my journey was a lot different in terms of where we got to, but now we're here, we're rocking and rolling. And I know he's 7 minutes older and a little bit bossy, but we're on the same kind of, like, we're both at the same level now, which is great.
Love it.
I don't know what he did. 7 minutes. He's definitely bossy without that.
7 minutes. Well, like, what is that? God's perfect number, right? 7.
Yes.
So sorry to add to the fire there.
No, it's true. It's true. And like, even when we'll go anywhere, and again, we're identical twin brothers, so there's literally 7 minutes between us. And my mum will always say, Cole, make sure you look after Paul. I'm like, it's 7 minutes. Like, I'm not 7 years old. Honestly, I've had it all my life. Make sure you look after him. I'm like, come on. So
you can look after him, Mom.
Exactly. I agree. I mean, I know he's all buff now, so he probably could look after him. But that definitely, even my mum, make sure you look after Paul. I don't know why. Maybe I'm a little skinnier than him. I don't know. Maybe needs looking after, possibly.
Well, thank you so much, Paul, for coming on the BeautyPro podcast. This is awesome.
It's been so much fun. It's not. You said that it was going to be like quite relaxed and raw, and it really was. It wasn't a case of you've got to answer this. It's just a case of come on and have some fun. And it's been exactly that. So anyone listening to this who wants to come on it, get involved. It's been great fun.
I love it. Thank you for that. Pleasure. All right, you guys. No problem. I will talk to you later. That's a wrap, and have a wonderful week.